So let me ask the question. The one that I think drives me personally the most crazy is that every time there is a big deal, a big topic that pops up, we tend to jump on one side or the other. And I mean, we generically, as a nation, not necessarily you, but as a nation, we jump on one side or the other based upon what our talking head says is the right side, right? So Trump gets arrested. And if your talking head says this is the evilest thing in the world, you believe it's the evilest thing in the world. If your talking head says he deserves it, he should go to jail forever, you believe that. And you don't even bother looking at any facts. Like the facts don't matter at all. All that matters is what my talking head says. This has got to drive you crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Devin, tell me.
Well, I think it's very irritating the fact that people will just immediately jump on a bandwagon one way or the other without going through and trying to find out all the facts of the situation.
Well, Michael, you hear this constantly. I mean, you interview people. You hear this constantly.
Yeah.
And be clear, Michael, you go down rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah.
So you actually do go down rabbit holes to check the data.
Yeah, I do that's the whole point. You got to go into the research. You can't just trust people with what they say, especially politicians. We see them reverse positions far too often. The problem is we've trained over the last 20 years, we've been training generations to just go with the headline. I mean, that's what Twitter is, just headlines, and not to ask any questions. And if you do ask a question, well, social media, the internet in general will beat you up and say, oh, you're the bad guy. You're the problem because you're asking a question, even when we have the proof that the authorities and the experts with their bias have been proven wrong by their own standards. You know,
isn't it difficult here, right? I mean, everything pops up. Isn't it basically information overload?
No.
Like, I mean, if I want to go down a rabbit hole, there's 40,000 rabbit holes for me to go down. And I can go down that rabbit hole and stay at rabbit hole for 6 months if I want to, right? Isn't there some overload here too? When do I know when to stop? When do I know that I got it, I'm good?
The easy answer on that is when you are satisfied with the answer you have. It's not a question of misinformation, disinformation. It is about information.
But I'm going to do what Devin said. I'm going to have my talking head tell me, and I'm satisfied, right? My talking head told me that this is the right thing. I'm now satisfied. I don't have to go any further. I'm good.
No, you always have to take the first step, which is verify. Verify what they've said. Then after that, you may be interested to find out more. It's how you look at movie reviews. Make it as basic as I can. Movie reviews, video game reviews. Someone said, doesn't matter who it is, said this game is good. Mm-hmm. Now you, at this point, your thing is, well, you can go onto YouTube and see someone playing the game, or maybe they'll have a trailer of the video of the movie. They'll have someone commenting on it. You've now taken an extra step. You've verified that this one person said something, and now you're starting to see. Now maybe you only need to go to one other source that you trust, and now you've confirmed or denied that. Fantastic. You're done. Maybe someone else wants to know more. Maybe they want to read the original book this was based on, or the comic book.
But let me go down. Let me go to Zach here. Zach, you deal with the two. Are people? I think Michael is correct. I'm not fighting him being correct. I'm worried that people are going to do what Devin said and just go, I don't have time for that, Mike. I'm just going to listen. Larry said that I'm right, so I'm going to agree with Larry, and I'm right. Is that what happens?
Well, I think the forces of polarization are so strong. I mean, I think as someone interested in depolarization and educating people about polarization, I think we often focus so much on who's right or who's wrong instead of focusing on the simple, obvious fact that it's very easy for people to believe vastly different things. And especially when a society becomes polarized, which is a very ubiquitous state for a society to enter, you know, we often act like America is the only country going through this, and we have a completely unique situation. But I think the meta level for me is, and I've anchored people on the right and the left when I talk about this, because people want to focus on who's right, who's wrong. But I think the more meta approach is to focus on, we can clearly believe vastly different things. And the more we get agitated at each other and angry at each other for believing different things, the more those divides widen, right? It's almost like we become intolerant to the idea that other people can believe very different things from us, but clearly they can believe very different things from us. And especially in, like you're saying, Larry, with this environment where there's so many sources and, we can easily filter for the things we want to focus on and easily form narratives that are vastly different, whether they're right or they're wrong. I often think that we focus so much on that right or wrong judgmental phase, as opposed to getting to this higher transcend that level a little bit and say, hey, I can see how you believe this vastly different thing, even though I
but
very
Zach,
much
here's the problem. What you said, the first part of what you said stops the second part of what you said, right? If all I'm going to do is focus on who's wrong, so I don't even worry about the argument. Right. I just go, I think Michael is bad for whatever reason I've decided, so I now attack him. I don't attack his idea. I just go, Michael's bad because he's the thing that I've been trained to say is bad. So he's that thing. So he's bad. Therefore, his argument, Zach, is irrelevant because he's bad.
And that's where, that's where it gets into the, the conflict resolution, depolarization train of school of thought would be, you can work towards whatever political goal you want. You can work hard towards whatever political goal you want, but while speaking respectfully and while speaking persuasively. And you can be, what they say, hard on ideas but soft on people, which is, you can criticize ideas without making it personal. You can say that's a very bad idea for these reasons, instead of being like, that person is a bad person for thinking X, and I think that's really,
and the system doesn't help. In fact, let me take a quick super chat if I could. Mm-hmm. Yep. Those of you want to super chat, you can, please feel free. Roger, thanks for the $5, says, so true, Larry. I'm on a mission to increase the number of registered indies, he means independent voters, match numbers of registered Dems in New York State, make America think critically again. So let me walk down that road with him, right? And that is the two-party system, is that part of the problem? Right. So if I am a lefty or righty and I consider myself a Democrat, Republican, don't I then have to, if I'm a Republican, hate Democrats? I'm a Democrat, don't I have to hate Republicans? And so if there's more independents, it's like, oh, Mike's like, no, go ahead, Mike, take it.
No. And this kind of goes to what Zach is talking about. Actually, it goes to the theme of the entire discussion today. The problem is there's two major parts to this. One, people don't know that they're in an echo chamber. They don't have the knowledge to be able to recognize whether or not the information they're receiving needs to be challenged, or that there is even a challenge to it. So we don't know where we stand, and therefore we don't know where we can stand to be compromising on certain things. We don't have that knowledge. All we have is an emotional plea or fact-based plea that may or may not be correct, and we haven't taken a step to investigate it. Now, the second part of the problem is, as we get younger and younger generations in America, they have been taught more and more that any disagreement, any challenge to what you have said, it's a challenge against authority. That is a microaggression. It is equivalent to violence. And therefore, you are authorized, you are okay to take whatever actions necessary, which is where we get the character assassination attempt, because now this is justified, because you must, according to the way they have been taught, anything that violates your emotions is an attack, and therefore a personal attack is justified then. And I get this a lot. I don't know if
it's almost like I'm not just canceling somebody from a TV show or a blog post. I'm like canceling their life. Like they're just done. They don't get to make money. They don't get to have a family. They're just complete. And it's off. It's to your point. I feel righteous doing it because the person is bad, right? The person is wrong, or the person is evil. I think a lot of people do believe that. But